At this point, I would want to call on one of you to give us the graduating class speech. So let's call on Wonder to give us the graduating class speech.
Thank you. The Chancellor, our keynote speaker, Rector, Deputy Rectors, Faculty.
Please, this is representative of your class. We are still in the formal mood. We beg you, let's reorganize our life. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Our parents, colleague graduands, ladies and gentlemen, I remember barely 2 years ago, we were gathered here as they were ushering us into GH Media School. That's our orientation. A lot of things were said, and which I took notice of few. Some of these things are, when you organize your private life well, the public will not interfere. By Mr. Kwabena Fosufachi, Prof. Cliff told us that everybody is a container of a content to the continent. Your tenacity will determine how far you will go. Where you will stand today will determine where you sit tomorrow. You have a place in the history of this nation, and that when people look down upon you, look up on yourself. When the going gets tough, the tough gets going. At this point, I began to realize that I have come for a 2 years formation and motivation conference. Among all these beautiful quotes, the one that really defines the school, the one that really defined us, the one that really defined our stay here, was that academic certificate is just the proof of a completion of an academic course, not a proof of competence. This was said by Abeku Santana. This man defined GH schools and defined our stay here. And I call these a prophecy that we have lived to fulfill. We are not richly certified, but we are competently rich. And at this point, I can boldly and confidently say that we are fully equipped in discharging our roles as professional media practitioners in ensuring a peaceful election, as stated in our theme, or the theme of this event. I believe as educators, rather than raising your voices over the chains put on us by our system and regulatory bodies, help us, uncuff us, help us take them off, give us hope, and give us opportunities to be great and strong. Enough of the unjust policies that defines the less privileged as ignorant and incapable. I was in my second semester here in this school when Rector told me, Wonder, with your level of confidence, you will be significantly noticed. Good news it was for me. He introduced me to the sound of my own voice. He gave me a platform, a stage. He taught me that our stories are the ladders that makes it easier for us to touch the stars. So climb them, grab them, keep climbing, grab them, spill out your emotions in a little more deeper. Pour out your souls, light up your talent with your passions well defined and refined. To educate requires a higher degree of patience. Today, when I look into the eyes of my colleagues and then my students, I see a configuration of stars. And if we can take our time and connect to that, we will plot the true shape of their genius talents shining in the darkest hours. I look into those same eyes again and I can see a lot more clearly. People heading to their roads of freedom. I see people with the wildest ambition to make life easy and build the nation Ghana. I see them. Beneath their mask of mischief exists an authentic frustration and enslavement to our so-called educational assessments. We want the kind of education that will give us hope and hope to our younger ones. We want the kind of education that will put our tribulations into a telescope, so the child can see from where he or she stands, where he can go. I have been in the classroom for far so long, absorbing everything without allowing the light inside me shine. Those days are gone. I belong among the stars, and so do you. And so is our younger ones coming up, because together we can inspire galaxies of greatness. And this is what GH Schools is set to do. Education, they tell us, is the key, but the locks keep changing. Ladies and gentlemen, we don't need the keys. We need the master key. And that is what I defined as skill-based and technical education. And this is where one man has fought it to, in the name of GH Schools. Where can we send it? We saw governments coming up with great policies with regards to technical and skill-based training. But it all becomes promises or policies of stillborn promises that dries up in the catacombs of their manifestos. We are blessed to be part of GH Schools movement. Ladies and gentlemen, it was really tough, very hectic, but we made it. And I can say that it is worth it. The toughest badge, the most stubborn, the strongest, and Rector called us level-headed people. The only badge that raised funds for movie production and we used the money to organize party. The only badge that defied the level 300 main project, movie production. And yet we are here to graduate. Ladies and gentlemen, we have exhibited the toughest life that made life very stressful for some of us. But anyway, it was just preparing us for the tough life outside these walls of academia. Fellow graduates, we have made it. And with the master key, we have made it. And we will crush all doors ahead of us. Congratulations to us all. And may the peace of the Lord be with you.